When you think of unfamiliar things, you may associate them with fear. I may be unfamiliar with this room and with all these people, but I can promise you that I am not afraid of unfamiliar things. Because let me tell you a story of how 9 years ago, I confronted a case of unfamiliarity that may have saved my life. I was young and only about this tall. I know I'm not much taller now, but it's not about physical height. It's about the height of what's inside. Nonetheless, I was not subject to restraint. So I was vulnerable to make the mistakes of thousands of children before me. But that was all changed when I walked into the club and my parents signed me up. When I was young, blue meant a lot to me. The blue skies that first summer, the blue mountain camp, the blue colors of our Marbury unit, and most importantly, the blue hands grasped together in unity displayed at every point of our club. Those images would be forever vivid in my mind. As the days, months, and years went by, I met new acquaintances, formed bonds with new friends, and discovered new family. As the days went by, each leaving an impact on my life, I felt the bond between the club and I displayed in those blue hands growing closer and closer together. Every lesson taught, every sports practice, and every laugh shared with my second family. I never missed a beat. I carried each and every lesson with me throughout my everyday life. It showed in my grades as they skyrocketed and through my healthy lifestyles as it was put on display, so through every tough decision I had to make, I always heard the Olivet calling my name. The Olivet didn't allow distractions to frown upon my success. Unfortunately, one distraction seemed to be out of their hands. 3 years ago, my father picked me up from the club. As I entered the car, he said, "You won't be able to make it to basketball practice." We headed toward the emergency room. As we entered, there she was, my sister. The story goes, she was only strolling down the street on her way home from school. Bullets began to fly. She wasn't the target, of course, but she was shot in the thigh. Upon her full recovery, the decision was made, and it was finally time to remove ourselves from the only home I'd known for the past 14 years, as far away from the city as possible. No more friends, but most drastic of all, no more club. And with the snap of a finger, it happened. My decline was immediate. I felt my side of the hands of unity slipping. My grades, my behavior, and my attitude were headed toward a complete downfall. So what were my parents to do? Send me back, and not to the city, but directly to the club. Why? Because I'd never been in danger at the club, and because my parents' trust and belief at the club had grown to such a substantial amount. So I went back, and with the help and support of the Olivet, I was back on track. I realized that attendance was my key to success, and anything else was unnatural. So I encouraged the youth to attend the club and make it natural to them. If there's anything keeping anybody away from the club, then they need to fight it. And not with the size of the fist or with the height of their body, but with the height of their heart. It goes without saying that every time you walk through those doors and you see those hands held in unity, you can feel the change. So in between those hands, picture your heart. Most hearts are red, mine's Olivet blue.